last two lessons in this chapter are about simple interest. Interest is the money that is paid or earned for the use of money. So if you have a savings account, the bank will actually pay you for you keeping your money in the bank. If you have a loan or a credit card, you'll actually be paying interest for being allowed to borrow that money. The principal that we're talking about here is the amount of money that you've either deposited into a bank account or the money that you've borrowed. The rate is the percent of interest that's earned. You need to change this to a decimal to use into formula. And the last part of the formula that we're going to use is representing time, which is the amount of time the money is left in the account or the amount of time that the money is borrowed. So like car loans could be from anywhere from like 3 to 4 to 5, that kind of thing, years, based on what you decide to do. So time is going to have to be in years regardless of what you choose. So your formula is I equals PRT. I is your interest. P is your principal. R is your rate. And T is your time. So our formula is I equals PRT. So we're going to go down this first example. We're going to just put down the side I equals, P equals, R equals, and T equals. And as we go through the question, we're going to see if we can find those different pieces. First sentence, Arnold puts $580 into a savings account. Pause. That is actually your principal. That's the amount of money he's deposited. So your principal is $580. The account pays 3% simple interest. Stop. That's your rate. 3%. We're going to have to use is 0.03 because we're going to change it to a decimal. If he leaves the money in the account for 5 years, stop. There's your time, and it is in terms of years, so our answer is just 5. How much interest will he earn? So we're just trying to figure out what's interest. So write your formula then. Interest we don't know, so we're going to leave it as I. PRT, what's hiding in between here? Multiplication. So we're going to have 580 times 0.03 times 5. And again, I'm going to use those parentheses to show my multiplication just because we don't want to get things confused and we don't want to end up putting X's because that just gets ugly too, like we know. And we don't want to get decimal points confused with times. So when we multiply 580 times 0.03 times 5, we learn that I equals 87. So his interest earned is actually $87 in the account for that period of time. So the next question asks us how much money will be in the account. Well, he's starting the account with $580, and simple interest, since he's using this money, he's saving it, we're going to add on the interest here. So if we do that, we end up with a grand total in the account of $667 then, after his 5 years. Flip it over to the next example. This one, Marcos takes a loan from his parents. So let's go down the side. I equals P equals R equals T equals. Takes a loan from his parents for $760. That's his principal. Even though this is a loan, he's using that amount. They agree that he will pay the loan back in 4 months. So months is in terms of time, but time needs to be years. So compare months to a year. There's 12 months in a year. So we're going to do 4 months out of 12. We can just leave it like a fraction like that. And they will charge him 5% simple interest. Here's our rate. We're going to just write it down as 0.05. How much will he owe them in interest? So we're looking for interest. I equals PRT. I equals 760 times 0.05 times 4/12. So this one, when you actually type this into your calculator and you hit equals, your calculator gives this to you as a fraction because you had a fraction in there. So it's kind of spazzing out. Money, though, is not going to be written as a fraction. So you're going to hit the fraction button, change it over to a decimal, and you're going to have to round here. So this 6 is going to bump this up. So it's going to be $12.67 in interest is what he's going to owe his parents. So a couple follow-up questions. How much will he owe them total? So his loan was for $760 plus $12.67 in interest. So he's going to owe them $760. $72.67. Now, how much will he have to pay them each month? Well, he's taking out the loan for how long? Well, that was 4 months. So each month, he's paying it off over 4 months. We're going to have to take that total and divide it by 4. He's going to be paying them $193.17 per month to be able to actually pay back his loan. Take a look at example number 3, and I want you to set up the I equals P equals R equals T equals, and then calculate the simple interest for Rondell's parents. Did you get $99.60? If you did, then you did things correctly. A couple things to check. Principal is 8,300. The rate was 6%, so it's 0.06. And time was 2 years to repay the loan, so the interest that they have is $99.60. Take a look at example number 4. This one's a little trickier just because of your time, so pause the video, see if you can figure it out. Tricky, your rate had to be 0.055 because of the 5.5%, and your time was 8 months, so compare 8 months to 12 months, so it's 8/12 of a year then. Should have gotten 51.33.